Join me as I dive into the Psalms and challenge myself to find hope and encouragement for 2024. The Psalms have been a source of comfort and inspiration for countless people throughout history, and I believe they hold just as much significance for us today in 2024. In a world that can often feel overwhelming and uncertain, the Psalms offer a powerful reminder of God's presence and love. We've all been there at some point, feeling lost, uncertain, and disconnected from the world around us. It's easy to get caught up in the negativity and despair that seems to permeate every aspect of our lives. The news is filled with stories of conflict, injustice, and division. Our social media feeds are overflowing with curated perfection, leaving us feeling inadequate and unhappy. It's no wonder that so many of us feel hopeless, like we're drowning in a sea of uncertainty. For many of us, the feeling of despair can be crushing, making it difficult to get out of bed in the morning, to face another day with a sense of purpose and direction. We wonder if things will ever get better, if we'll ever find a sense of peace and fulfillment. And it's in these moments that we need encouragement, a reminder that we're not alone, that there is hope. The Psalms have a way of speaking directly to our souls, of reminding us that we're not alone in our struggles and that God is always with us, even in the darkest of times. They remind us that our emotions, our fears, and our doubts are valid, and that it's okay to express them, to cry out to God in our despair. One of the most powerful Psalms for me is Psalm 23, which reminds us that God is our shepherd, guiding us through the darkest valleys and leading us to green pastures. It's a psalm that speaks directly to our deepest fears, reminding us that we're not alone and that God is always with us, even in the most uncertain of times. Another psalm that has brought me comfort is Psalm 34, which reminds us to look to God for our deliverance, to cry out to Him in our distress. It's a psalm that speaks to our need for rescue, for salvation, and reminds us that God is always faithful to deliver us from our troubles. Psalm 103 is another one that has been a source of comfort for me, reminding us of God's love and compassion towards us. It's a psalm that speaks to our need for forgiveness, for healing, and reminds us that God is always eager to forgive and restore us to Himself. I remember a particularly dark time in my life when the Psalms were my only source of comfort. I was going through a difficult breakup and I felt lost and alone. It was as if the world had come crashing down around me and I didn't know how to pick up the pieces. But as I turned to the Psalms, I found solace in their words, in their raw honesty and emotion. I found comfort in knowing that I wasn't alone, that others had faced similar struggles and had come out the other side. The Psalms have a way of reaching deep into our souls, of speaking to our deepest fears and doubts. They remind us that we're not alone, that God is always with us, even in the darkest of times. And it's this message of hope and encouragement that I want to leave you with today. As we close out this video, I want to remind you of the powerful messages of hope that we've explored today. From Psalm 23 to Psalm 34 to Psalm 103, we've seen how the Psalms speak directly to our souls, reminding us that we're not alone and that God is always with us. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the Psalms today. If you have a favorite psalm that brings you comfort and encouragement, please share it with us in the comments below. And if you're looking for more inspiration, be sure to check out my other video on finding hope in the Bible. Until next time, may God's word bring you peace and comfort in the midst of life's challenges.